Welcome to Class 43, the parable of those who were invited to the wedding feast of the King's Son, taken from Matthew chapter 22. This parable was told by the Lord on the Passion Week, most likely on Tuesday. A similar parable about those invited to the supper from Luke chapter 14 was already told by him in the house of the Pharisee one Sabbath day much earlier. The main idea of both parables is that many, for the sake of everyday cares of their evil will, refuse from the kingdom of God. The parable about the marriage of the king's son is following the one about the evil vinedressers. The image of the vineyard is often used in the Old Testament as a symbol of the Jews, chosen loved people of God. In Isaiah chapter 5, verses 1 to 5, God says, "My beloved one had a vineyard on a fertile hillside. My beloved had a vineyard on a fertile hillside. He dug it up and cleared it of stones and planted it with the choicest vines. He built a watchtower in it and cut out a winepress as well. He looked for a crop of good grapes, but it yielded only bad fruit. Now you dwellers in Jerusalem and people of Judea, judge between me and my vineyard. What more could have I done for my vineyard than I have done for it? When I looked for good grapes, why did it yield only bad? Now I will tell you what I am going to do to my vineyard. I will take away its hedge, and it will be destroyed. I will break down its wall, and it will be trampled." The similar idea is in the Lord's parables. In them it is said about the servants of a king who were insulted or killed, and about the evil death of the abusers. Those who were called are the Jewish people, and the Old Testament prophets should be understood as the servants of the king. By the extermination of the murderers and the burning of their city, it is necessary to understand the death of the Jewish people and the destruction of Jerusalem. The invitation to the wedding feast of all who meet is the calling to the kingdom of God of all people, which followed when the Jews rejected the apostolic preaching. See Acts chapter 13, verse 46. Everyone is called to the marriage feast, to the kingdom of God, both good and evil, because neither holiness nor merit is needed to enter it. They are called not for deeds, but according to the mercy of the one who calls. The judgment, who is good or evil, will be later. Whoever now is called once must be clothed in wedding clothes. In ancient times, kings and princes in the East had the custom of giving special ceremonial clothes to those invited, in which they had to appear at the feast. In the same way, everyone who is called to the kingdom of Christ is given a garment of light, of spiritual purity at holy sacraments. Those who neglect this garment and enter the spiritual feast in clothes defiled by sins are worthy of condemnation, just as those driven out of the royal feast into the outer darkness. So at the last judgment, unrepentant sinners will be expelled from the host of those saved in the church of Christ. The final thought of the parable: many are called, but few are chosen. Few become true members of Christ's kingdom. That's the end of class 43. Thank you. Bye-bye.